Good morning, poo people, Crimson Lotus Tea fans. What's going on? Thank you for joining me this morning. It's much earlier than I normally am awake, especially for tea and live tea tasting. But I thought I would try something different. Maybe get access to some of the people who aren't normally up late at night when we're doing a midnight tea club. So if you're here, you're watching, post in the comments, say hi, say good morning. Figured we'd get our day started right with some pu'erh tea. We have a lot of Maocha that never actually gets used in our other products, and so I have bags and bags and bags of it in my storage room, and figured this is a nice excuse for sitting down with some tea that I don't normally get a chance to drink. So this is usually how we get our stuff. Nice big bag like this. Actually, this bag isn't that big anymore, but we'll get a bag like this from the farmers. It'll have some Maocha in it. Loose. We'll give it a try. See if we like it. See if we don't. I still got a lot to do this morning, and I haven't had a chance to weigh out the leaves yet like I normally do. Hello from Germany and Happy New Year. Sebastian, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, one of the things I'm excited about is getting able to see some more of our European customers, because it's only what I don't know, really bad with math this morning. Tell me what time it is in Germany. It's probably about 4 o'clock, 4:30, almost 5. Luke Saver, Happy New Year to you too. Happy New Year to everybody. This is great. This is got a lot of high expectations and hopes for the new year. Has anybody done anything fun so far? I'm trying to remember exactly what ml this little guy is, and I think this is the teapot that I use for. Look at that, love that, nice big close up. This is the teapot that I use for specifically for Maocha. So I'm gonna have some fun with this morning. Hello from Delaware. What water boiler are you using? Somebody else can jump into the chat. I completely forget. It's the Stag, S-T-A-G-G. It's their gooseneck one. It's quite nice. It just pours really slow. Generally, for what I'm doing, I like something to pour just a little bit faster. So one of the tricky things about mornings in the Crimson Lotus Tea household is trying to get things done before the kids wake up. So if you guys hear a bunch of pile of little children running around in the background trying to find out where I put their breakfast, don't worry about that. They're just trying to find out where I put their breakfast. Hello from Finland. What's going on? We've got Europe in the house. This is nice. One of the benefits of doing an early morning tea tasting is I get to see all my my European friends. This is great. Yeah, if you guys haven't had a chance to tune into a midnight tea club, which I'm sure if you're in Europe is a little bit harder unless you're brewing tea super early in the morning, which some of our customers apparently do. We get a decent amount of people connecting in from Europe, which is pretty cool. I am going to make a post about this real quick because I haven't even had a chance to do that yet. The teapot is lovely. You've got the very light yellow. Oh, that's really nice. These are really good pots. I'm glad that you got me. Use it for white tea. Really good for the big leaves. Yeah, having a nice big open mouth. If you guys aren't used to like teapots, like a really fun, cute little one like this is a really nice shape, but like just trying to get like leaf, like a lot of like big leaf into there, especially something like this. This is what we're going to be drinking today. So I am really bad about taking notes on the Maocha that we get. So I'll get a bag of Maocha. It'll be a sample from the farmer, or maybe we'll purchase a kilo or something from the farmers. We'll get access to it from somewhere. Somebody's like, hey, I've got this. I want you to try it. Give it to us. I'm notoriously bad about remembering to put notes in the bag. So I don't remember where we got this from, but it is 2010-ish, and it's from Qianjiazhai, which is a very difficult to pronounce for me, mountain/tea growing region in Yunnan. It's traditionally got some pretty decent stuff. So if this has been Maocha since 2010, it's going to be probably going to have some little decent amount of age on it, just because Maocha ages faster than pressed cakes. So even with the big mouth in this guy, it still takes a little bit to get it all packed in. Howdy, hey, Tornham. How long have I been growing my beard? About 12 inches? No, I don't know. Shoot, I don't even remember anymore. I think I stopped officially shaving it in like 2008 or something like that. This is about as long as it gets, though. I usually keep it like braided in one braid or two braids, but it's early in the morning. didn't have time to actually braid it. You guys are seeing me pre-braid. There we go. Just gonna pack this full. It's kind of fun when you got Maocha, and you got to get a little bit creative. You put some of the bigger leaves in last. Get all the little leaves packed down into the bottom. It still can be a little bit of a challenge. This is a little bit of a smaller pot, so I only went with about 6.5, 7 grams on this one. These leaves are much darker than they would be if they were younger, so you can tell right away it's going to have a little bit of an aged essence to it. What are you guys drinking today? There we go. Get the last of that in there. Denmark. Awesome. Skovskin. What's going on? If I said that right, Skovskin. If I pronounced your names wrong, it's because I'm an American and I'm not cultured and I have no idea how European names are spelled, so I do apologize. Although I have some Scandinavian blood in me, so it's no excuse. Everything is going great. So, thank you for asking. Damn you, making me crave tea. Got to start brewing some shoe. The morning shoe, get it on. Morning show. That was another possible name for my little morning tea stream, calling it the morning show, SHOU, which would be kind of fun, but then that would be limited just to a show pu'er, and I thought I could, I don't know. Well, I guess now I'm limiting it just to Maocha, but here we go. Take a look at this. Nice. Loving the new little fisheye lens that I got. Let's do some pretty cool close-ups, which is a lot of fun. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Let me get the rinse started on this, and then I do want to make a. Still haven't made an Instagram post about it, so we got a lot more people can come in here and jump in for a tea tasting. It's nice. The more people that are in chat is more people in chat's awesome. You guys can ask whatever questions you want. I am here for you guys. Brew some tea together. Let me know what you're drinking. Wherever it is in the world, it's tea time. It's definitely tea time. Virtual Rotary meeting. Everything is virtual these days. Thai guy, what's going on? Got some 2007 Moon Princess this afternoon. That's pretty cool. That's good stuff. That is good stuff. I was we had Jake on an interview stream. Jake did our new Moon Princess wrapper, which is pretty cool. If you guys haven't had a chance to see that, check out the video with the video we've got going on with Jake. Let's see, options, get a shareable link, copy to clipboard, Facebook closed. Bam, there we go. All right, always give a little bit back to the teapot. Dragonwell, Dark Depths artwork. Yes, you're right. That is the original painting by Carl. I got to see if I can get Carl on a stream. He's not much of a tea person. I mean, he doesn't drink a lot of tea, so it would be a little bit different than some of our other, like, between two teapots. But I think it would actually be really awesome if I could help to send him down to Gaiwan, or just let him brew however he normally brews. He does have a couple cakes of Dark Depths, which is pretty cool. Oh, Sebastian's got some Dansong. That sounds good. Greetings from Germany, Rinse Drinker. I knew there's a Rinse Drinker out there. What's going on? What am I drinking? Jacob, let's see. I have got. We're doing Maocha on this stream. My morning Maocha stream. Trying to get access to some people that might not be around during the midnight tea club that we do. It seems to be doing all right so far. We've got a bunch of people from Europe, but we are drinking Maocha, and it is kind of hard to see. But yeah, I should have put it into I can remember it. I'll bring a different little table next time. You can't even see that, but it's worth it. It's a Maocha from 2010. It's a sheng pu'er, and it's from Qianjiazhai, which is tricky for me to pronounce. A little bit more of an obscure Yeah, this got some good age on it. A little bit more of an obscure tea mountain in China. Yunnan, not as popular as some of the other big names, but definitely has some decent stuff. Can hold its own. We've never bought anything from there specifically, so any of our customers might not be exactly familiar with Qianjiazhai. Nothing against it. It's just for what we've found, it seems to be a little bit more expensive than we were looking for. So, especially for this stuff here, this would have been a 2010. So, probably only got like half a kilo of it as a sample or something. Somebody wanted us to try it. So, for whatever reason, we did not actually go ahead and end up purchasing this tea. But we've got a bunch of it left over, and so figured I would have a nice little session, share it with you guys, sitting there talk about it. Nene's drinking a ruby gaba oolong. Sounds pretty good. I think I have. I've had. Is that from the? Actually, that sounds familiar. It's from Taiwan Spring. Sculfson's got some 2016 Moon Princess. It is a good cake. It's a really good cake. And that stuff is actually aged really, really nicely. Actually, all of the Moon Princess stuff that we've got is pretty good. Actually, that's one of the things, the Maocha bags I found down in our collection downstairs is actually some Maocha from the 2018 Moon Princess, some stuff that I didn't actually fully paste. Let me make a quick post here onto Facebook. Let's see. There we go. Anybody got any fun New Year's resolutions? Anything that they've decided that they're going to do this year? This was one of mine. I wanted to spend some opportunities getting up a little bit earlier in the morning. I am a notorious night owl, and I do not get up too early too often. But I figured if I had an excuse to get up early, have some tea with everybody, that maybe I could make that part of my resolution, or one of my New Year's resolutions. I go back and forth on New Year's resolutions. Some years I decide I'm not going to do it, and some other years I'm super ambitious and come up with a bunch of stuff. But how does my stomach deal with Maocha in the morning? I don't know how it does it, but my stomach, early morning Maocha, doesn't do anything to me. Black tea in the morning will just wreck me, but sheng pu'er tea, I'm just fine with it. I don't know. I think it depends on the sheng sometimes. There are some sheng, like Slumbering Dragon, I think would actually just tear me apart. Depends. Got a little bit of astringency in the beginning. I must have an iron stomach. I don't know, but black tea. Like if this was black tea right now, I'd be dead. I'd be destroyed. Yeah, empty stomach. I've not had breakfast yet. I didn't have time. I jumped into the stream first thing. I still have not even done an Instagram post, which I need to do. Yeah, this stuff little smoky. Got a little bit of a smoky taste to it. It's not bad though. Just trying to figure out. I don't remember. Like I said, I take really bad notes, and I should have put some notes in there in the bag. I probably put the notes in one of my notebooks or something, but I don't remember the last time I actually had this tea. It's been probably a couple years. Whew. It's got a little strength to it though. All right, where we go? Gotta grab this image. So yeah, resolutions. Anybody doing anything for the new year? It's not too late. It's not too late to come up with some resolution. Thai guy still considers himself a bit of a noob when it comes to pu'er. What exactly is Maocha? That's a good question. I should have defined it. Maocha is the term used to describe sheng pu'er tea that has not actually been pressed yet. So, for example, this is a nice bag of Maocha from Pasha. So this is actually how we end up getting most of our teas and actually aging most of the tea that we have that is Maocha. So this is a loose tea. It has not been pressed, so it has nothing else done to it other than sun drying, and they put it into a bag. It will age much quicker because it has much more surface area, and so it does different stuff than it would if it was actually pressed. Pu'er is not pu'er loose is not technically considered Maocha. Maocha technically has to just be sheng pu'er, and I've been confused about that in the past. So pu'er, there is no pu'er Maocha, it's just loose show. But in common vernacular in Yunnan, if you just tell somebody that you were interested in purchasing some show Maocha, they're going to know what you're talking about. But there's no actual term for loose. So it just means loose leaf sheng pu'er. That is what Maocha is. It's a good question. That is how I usually, Scoffson says, that's how I usually drink tea on the weekends, intermittent fasting. That's pretty smart. We've actually done some like fasting with tea and some stuff like that. My images are not loading. My phone's getting slow. Does anybody else have an old phone that never seems to do anything right? That's mine. Yeah, intermittent fasting, even like straight fasting with pu'er tea. Lam and I used to do that. We take like 1 day a week, do a fast with pu'er. We'd be drinking show pu'er in a nice big pot, just a single pot all day long, and then I think that actually seemed to do all right. I've kind of gotten out of the habit of that, but intermittent fasting with tea can work out nicely as long as you listen to your body and don't push it. Scoffson's getting back into running 3 to 4 times a week. That's cool. That's a good resolution. I have tried to do running as resolutions on different years, and some years I've lasted longer than others, but no running in my resolution this year. Sebastian's tea resolution is to buy less but higher quality tea. If too much low quality stuff lying around, yeah, that's it's educational stuff. You've got your tastes also change. Those lower quality teas that are lying around actually make really nice gifts for people who you want to start getting into tea. Sometimes we end up giving bunches of stuff around. We find a lot of our customers do the same. Or there's some tea gifting or tea trading subreddits. Might be on Reddit. Toss a comment on there. Tell some people some list of stuff that you've got. Maybe somebody wants to trade you something for that. But I totally hear and understand the idea of wanting to buy less, but of more quality for sure. Sculpson says, is Maocha separated into different grades still Maocha? Yes, it is still Maocha. And that's something that we don't really do much of. We generally leave it complete and whole. I've not really gotten that particular about our blends that I actually pull out all the buds. We do usually separate out the huangpian. Sometimes I'll leave it in. We'll usually separate out the huangpian, or just purchase huangpian separately. Huangpian would be all of the leaves that don't look pretty, or they don't look good enough. Sometimes they've see if there's any examples in here. They'll often look more, I don't know. They got a little burnt in the processing, or they maybe were too much sun drying, or they'd withered too long, and they just don't look right. They didn't process right, so those just visually don't look good. So they get picked out and put into a big pile. Usually you can buy that for a lot cheaper, which is usually you can sometimes get some pretty nice teas in huangpian. It just doesn't look as good. Chris, what's going on? Fasting is an awesome tool. Yeah, it certainly can be, as long as you listen to your body and don't push it. But like I said, it's been a little while. We'll do some intermittent fasting here and there, but it's been a while since I've done like a full day fasting. A little bit harder with kids, because there's no way you're going to convince them to do it. They're just going to be they're not going to understand why we're not eating that day, Dad. Maybe someday when they get a little older. My parents used to fast with us when I was a kid, though, but probably not till I was in teens, maybe. ReGFE has done a 7-day fast, but not quitting drinking tea. That's impressive. A 7-day fast is impressive. Marina, you are here. You finally caught one of our live streams. I've been wanting to do a morning live stream, specifically because there's so many people in further away time zones that I don't get a chance to see on live stream very awesome, and I miss that. So this we may be doing some more of these. So we usually have like one. We've been doing one interview stream in the week, in an afternoon usually, and then we'll do our midnight tea club Saturday night, which is a lot of fun. But that's a tough time for people in Europe to pop on, because it's usually around 4 or 5 in the morning. But I figured we could squeeze in a morning tea tasting sometime, maybe Monday or Tuesday morning. We'll see how it goes. And that's today. That is what I am doing today, and still trying to do an Instagram post, but my images are not loading, so don't know what I can do about that. Sorry Instagram. But apparently you guys found out how to get here anyways without having to have an Instagram nod. There it is, just loaded. Ultramags, what's going on? See, there's another person who normally can't tune into our tea tastings. At work, but checking in, appreciate it. Marina says that Jewish parents fast on Yom Kippur while feeding their kids. Yeah, kids just aren't going to be exactly excited about the concept of not eating. They don't understand. So yeah, that makes sense that you can make some exceptions. Re-GFE started with shorter ones, 2 or 3 day fasts if it becomes easier. So I almost never eat before noon or after 8 p.m. Yeah, no, that's I think about that. We used to do it. Lemon and I used to do a fast once a week. We would do it on a Monday, and you would. It was doable. I didn't really have much of a problem with it, but definitely have to find a way to fit it into your lifestyle. And if your partner or nobody else in your home is actually doing it, it makes it a little bit more difficult when they're going around and cooking food and eating in front of you, and you just you see it, and you're just like, oh man, I want that. Marina, got your daydream pillow. Oh, daydream pillows. The daydream pillows are so gorgeous. They look really nice. Does it look good? Does it look nice? Is it to your expectations? I certainly hope it is. Okay, my image is loaded up. My phone is behaving. I'm gonna do a quick post to Instagram, half an hour late. Get some people in here and get some Instagram people in here. Even though it says it starts at 8:30, which it did. Your pillow wasn't quarantined. They quarantine your pillow. Yeah, you don't know. Like, it's probably a good idea. It's better safe than sorry. I haven't really read as many new reports on how long the COVID stuff lasts on surfaces, especially inside of international packages. But I don't think it was. Last time I didn't remember it being able to really survive very long. But it's probably still a good idea to not press your luck. So, COVID certified free Crimson Lotus Tea Daydream pillow. I'm glad it made it, and I'm glad you got it. So, yeah, if you guys don't know, we started selling some pillows and a bunch of fun merch stuff this year, including shirts like this, like my Altered State hoodie. And pillows. We've got some really fun pillows with some of our artwork. Pillows are square. The artwork is square. It totally works out nicely. And yeah, daydream on a pillow is fun. Gemma loves it. Got Dark Depths on a pillow, which looks pretty cool. And I still need to work on doing a couple more designs and getting them on pillows, because it's a lot of fun. It's nice to have a fun little pillow in your tea tasting area with some of our cool pu'erh tea artwork on it. Nice. Gobson also got a daydream pillow as a present. Oh, that's so cool. That's great. I'm really happy to be able to share Stasia's artwork with everybody. And I think she'll be excited to see how many of her art pillows are out there, which is pretty fun. Sebastian, do we have new teaware coming in the next months? Not exactly. I mean, not specifically that we have. I'm working on some plans to get some new Qianjiazhai teapots made. Getting the teaware stuff done has been a little bit more difficult to do remotely. We did just update our inventory of silver teacups, which is nice to have more of those in stock, but probably not going to get any new interesting teaware until spring-ish. Yeah, sorry about that. It's a tough one. Primarily, I'm really particular about teaware quality, and if I'm putting in a really large order with a potter in China and I'm not there to check it, I get a little bit stressed about actually selling it. So either I have to find a way to lower my quality standards or find a way to ensure quality remotely, and it's been a little bit more difficult to ensure quality remotely. And so yes, but hopefully I can work something like that out. I've got some ideas about what we can do. Get some more jinshui on the site, which would be definitely a good thing. Tea student 97 plans on getting some teas, but is confused. Would like olive stone animal with teacup, but extra large American and have no idea what size I am. Oh, you're talking about t-shirts? You want olive color? Oh, a t-shirt with, gotcha. Okay, I'm sorry, confused for a sec. Let's see. Stone Lion. You want Stone Lion. You want the Stone Lion shirt in olive, but you don't know what size you are. So in each of the postings that I made, or the product pages, I tried to include like a table of the X and Y from like the shoulders and stuff of the actual shirt. So you might try that. Like take a shirt that you like that's really comfortable and measure it out, and then you can maybe find something. I'm not a very large person, but I always just get double XL just because I like things just a little bit bulkier on me. So and if you can't find the size that you want, send me a PM or send me an email, and I can see if they actually make it in an even larger size. But I think I probably tried to get most of them up there. All right, guys, I got to get this Instagram post up so that we can get some Instagram peeps in here. David, yeah, I'm finally waking up. Yes, I do sound super tea drunk already. It's possible. Tea student is 6'1.5". That's big American. I'm tall in the Tom Cruise sense. I think I poke up somewhere about 5'10", 5'10 and a half. I do good with my size. You wanted a sweatshirt. Yeah, the hoodies. The hoodies might be. Yeah, the hoodies might be. There might not be like a 3XL. So I definitely recommend like probably the 2XL or the 3XL if it's there. If it's the 3XL, because this one here, this is actually a 2XL. So the line, so it actually is, even extra long for my hands. But like I said, I like something a little bit bulkier. I don't like something to be too tight in form fitting. One sec. Let's see. Boom. Let's see. Join us for some morning tea. Live on YouTube now. Put up a little heart emoji. People like that. There we go. And I won't even do many of the hashtags. Morning Maocha. All right. Let's see. Actually, this tea's working quick. I'm feeling invigorated, which is something I don't always do by 9 a.m. All right. There we go. Yeah, so if you are tuning in, we are brewing up Maocha, and this is Maocha from 2010. So this is 11 years old now, which is quite nice. And it's from Qianjiazhai, which is spelled, look at that. I love this new lens. If you guys weren't in for the last tea stream, I was able to get a new lens for the camera, which means that I can keep it really nice and close. It's fisheye, so it kind of like warps some of the stuff on the edges, but it's good because I can do fun close-ups like that, which is really exciting to me. Let's keep the camera in a little bit closer. It's a little bit more intimate. Marina, American sizes are super confusing. Yeah, they're super confusing to me as well. And every single t-shirt company hoodie company out there makes something entirely different. I just like things. 2XL is usually what I go for. If the kids are going to buy me a T-shirt, I'll tell Llama to make sure it's just 2XL, because then it's usually, if the sizes run a little bit small, worst case it's an XL, extra large, and then I don't know. That's it. Morning. Wow, Ultramags, you've been up already. You've been up 8 hours already. Yeah, you've got an early schedule, don't you? That's I mean, I could do it if I had to. If that was my life, I had to do the wake up for the super early shift. But I certainly work better. I work better late at night. In fact, I was probably up. I was probably up 8 hours ago. So I was just tucking in as you were getting out. I'm sure you get used to it. Orlando is here. Ain't no party like a pu'er party. That's right. Morning pu'er party. Orlando was actually on our midnight tea club stream when I talked about doing the morning Maocha. The plan was actually for yesterday morning. Yesterday, Monday, was supposed to be the first morning tea stream, and I didn't make it. I was up too late trying to get like the graphics and stuff right, and I overslept. I woke up at 9 o'clock. It was supposed to start at 9 o'clock, and then I was just like, "Wow, it's not happening today." So I just went back to bed. Scobson says, "Think the Imperial units are still used simply because they got industrialized with that." I don't know. I guess I don't. I mean, I understand the metric system, and I certainly appreciate it from a scientific perspective. Most of the stuff that we do on the T side is all in metric. Totally fine with that. But I grew up not doing metric stuff, so in my natural brain state, everything just thinks in imperial units. But yeah, so especially for clothes, it's just stuck in my brain. But in T stuff, I'm all mLs and grams and kilos and everything. It probably would be obscene in terms of cost to change, and it's really not. I mean, once you have the ability to translate back and forth, totally fine. It's just the trick is that there's no just saying like large and extra large really means nothing, and everybody's shop does something like a little bit different. But like I said, we included like a nice little table that has all the different units and measurements, so I should be able to kind of go on there and be like, yeah, that's the one. I like that. That's my size. But yeah, it does make it a little tricky. Michelle, winking cats. Derek is working. Thank you so much for joining. That's right. I was going to toss one little more note on the on Instagram. Did you get the note on Instagram? Is that how you knew to join us, Michelle? Michelle is used to live just down the street from us. She had a kiln. She does awesome pottery stuff. She actually fired things for us. She actually fired a big batch of my little skulls that I made, little skull stuff. And I've not been able to have any more new stuff that I've made fired because Michelle took the kiln that she used to let me have a little space in, and she went over to the other side of America to marry Derek, and now I don't get to fire anything in the kiln anymore. I just need to buy a small kiln. But they're really expensive. Maybe you pottery-minded folks would be able to tell me what would be like a decent, very small-sized kiln, letting me able to fire some cute little teaware or tea pets sometime. But I've looked for even some used ones, and they actually run pretty pricey. I know, Michelle, you took your kiln with you. Interesting thing, I actually did find what was it I found the other day that I hadn't actually opened up. Check out this one, guys. This is a skull tea pet that I made. Michelle fired it. There were two of them that we made. Her husband actually has the other one. This one has not even been used. And made some fun little orca ones that I have not actually used yet because I thought I might auction them off. I just need to get back into the creative habit, make some more stuff, get a nice little kiln. What else did we make? Oh, I did make little Pacific Northwest, some little mushrooms, little mushroom tea pet. This would be kind of kind of fun. This white clay actually just takes color so fast. Like that skull. I mean, look at the difference. It really actually didn't take too many tea tasting sessions before, like, I got the eyes a little bit big on that one. Thing looks more like an alien skull. But look at that. It actually really kind of looks like an old skull that you might find dug up in some cemetery or something. Yes, thank you, Michelle. I try to make awesome things. I just like getting my hands dirty and making stuff. Ultramegs needs that skull. I've been meaning to toss it onto some auction thing or something like that, but haven't gotten around to it. So keep an eye open for that. Let me make one tiny last little post here. Add a post to your story. Keep forgetting. A lot of people like the Instagram stories. You got to post in the stories. You got to post on your main thing. Bam! Drinking tea now. There we go. I will, if we do more of these, I'll definitely get a little bit more on top of things. There we go. There we go. Okay. All right. Got it. How's the music? Can you guys hear the music? Is it not loud enough? Is it too loud? All right. I think I got all of the posting and stuff done for that. Now I can concentrate on tea and the chat. Oh yeah, Europe still does use imperial units for some things, like leather in Denmark is sold by the square foot. That's interesting. It's really interesting how things get used in one way, but then not in the other. In some ways, they're changed in one way and not in the other. It's kind of funny. Michelle, I'll have to keep an eye on Craigslist. So I did actually purchase a 3D printer this year. So Crimson Lotus Tea may be doing some testing with some fun 3D printed stuff. I have worked in CNC manufacturing, ironically, since 1990, actually. 1990 is the first time I actually programmed a CNC machine, which might specifically date me, but I have not actually done anything in the 3D manufacturing sphere. I've done a lot of CNC routing, CNC like laser cutting programming, a lot of like two-dimensional CNC stuff, but I've not actually worked in the 3D sphere. I've had a lot of friends that did, and just never really seemed that the price to quality and considering the amount of time you had to spend for 3D stuff got you really what I would hope for. But lately there's some really amazing, affordable, super customizable 3D printed options, which actually make some pretty decent stuff for not too much effort. So I'm excited. So we bought a refurbished Ender 3 Pro, and it is still on the way. And I'm really excited about tweaking it and getting it to make some fun stuff. Potentially using it to make some 3D printing, like a skull design of mine, and then actually having a mold of that made, and then I can maybe bust out some more quicker high volume number of tea pets to fire and sell on the site. But I still have to keep an eye out for cheap used kiln. I do keep an eye on Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace, but even still, like a relatively even a small kiln, used kiln, can be multiple hundreds of dollars, $600, $700, $800 for a smaller size kiln. Still, it's like, it's pricey. That's a lot. Then I have to find a place to put it. Maybe a gas kiln would be cheaper. We actually do have propane here. I could actually run it into a propane line on our house, or natural gas, not propane, natural gas. Yeah. Michelle and Ultramegs are chatting. Yeah, it's Instagram and Facebook and YouTube names don't always match up, so it's kind of funny. If you guys don't know, yes, Michelle is Winking Cat, and what is your the clay teapot? Is that your teaware Instagram handle? I can't remember. Ultramegs posts really fun stuff. What did you? You just got a Darth Vader helmet? I saw your post on your picture of that really super high quality Darth Vader helmet that you posted. That's just gorgeous. Have you actually tried it on yet? I was really impressed with the quality on that Darth Vader helmet. Tea Student 97 loves all types of tea. Right now is drinking Spring 2018 Jingmai Miyun. Is Miyun like the name of it? I'm not familiar with that name. Jingmai, there's really good stuff in Jingmai. Ruben K, what's going on? You've missed 45 minutes of tea ranting by myself as I try to wake up this morning. I am definitely not I'm not a morning person. I'm an absolute night owl, but I wanted to start a little morning stream just to kind of get one of my days kick started. Might be doing it weekly, maybe on Monday, unless Tuesday works. Calling it Morning Maocha. We're brewing through all of the different Maochas that we have. Bags and bags and bags. Hundreds of bags of Maocha here. Stuff that we don't sell on the site. But interesting teas nonetheless. And drinking a 2010 Qianjiazhai sheng pu'er tea. Decent, but for the price that we were given on it, I would have expected something that was 11 years old to have a little bit more aged essence to it. Scovson says, how important is the firing temp for a kiln? Michelle, you tell me. Absolutely critical. Yeah. So all the different clays in the glazes fire at different temperatures, and it's quite hot. It's in the multiple thousands of a degree Fahrenheit. I'll let somebody else convert that into centigrade for me because my brain just thinks in Fahrenheit for some reason. I don't know what the price range is, Michelle. I've not actually officially talked with our accountant / master of coin here about the idea, but it's just something I've been kicking around in the back of my head. I actually do have a space that I could put it, but it would need to be dedicated as an outside one. T Student 97. Facebook Marketplace is the place. Yeah, you got a drum set worth more than $18 for $5. You got a $5 drum set. That sounds like a pretty good deal. Ultramag, your Instagram is your collectibles. Yeah, you've got some pretty cool stuff. I've the Dooku lightsaber that you had the other day was pretty cool. But that Vader helmet was like so gorgeous, especially on the inside and everything. I mean, I've got like I stopped my Star Wars collecting years ago, but I have an original Don Post Boba Fett helmet that was made off of like the original mold. Pretty excited about that, but it's just not as gorgeous as that one. That one's pretty nice. It's from Farmer Leaf. Oh, nice. You're the Jingmai Miyun. Good. That's they do some really good Jingmai stuff. We've actually had tea with them, not in Jingmai, but in one of the other towns where they live. Wow, Ultramags, you've got 7 Black Series 1-to-1 Star Wars helmets for your man cave for Crimson. Oh, you got 7 of them. Wow, that's pretty cool. That was like I said, that was a pretty awesome helmet. I'll have to check your other picks and see what else you got. Marina hates mornings. I don't hate them, but I feel that they hate me. For myself, I don't know why. I just it takes me a really long time to get functional after waking up. Whereas when it's nighttime, like I'm super efficient at everything I do. I can get tons and tons of stuff done at the nighttime, but it feels like in the morning time it just takes me a really long time to actually get to that same state of efficiency, and so I just I'm just not a fan of mornings. I just feel doesn't matter how much I drink, it just feels that I'm just in a cloud for quite a while. Scovson says, yeah, that was my thought. Making a gas wood-based kiln would be, as components would be fairly cheap. I have put some thought into making a wood-burning kiln in the backyard, and a lot of it's about just heat. You can do it. You can do small-scale wood fire kilns, but it's a lot of work to get. It's all about like keeping the heat in. I smoke meat in the backyard, so I've got a wood smoker. And even trying to keep like the temperature regularly at like 250 or something like that is an incredible amount of work. And to do wood firing on something like that, you were talking wood fired pottery, you need a minimum of 8 hours or something like that. and to try and keep the temperatures up around, like 1800 Fahrenheit or something for, like 8 hours. It's a lot of work. You got to have really good insulated setup, and that requires a little bit more work than I have the capacity to do at the moment. Ruben got silver cups, the out of stock ones, the wavy pattern. Those are so nice. They're really nice. They feel really good. I know, chunky. I like a really good heavy teacup. Just Fiat, Glenn, do you actually drink tea from competitors to check out what they offer every once in a while? No, I really don't. In fact, I have a bunch of tea from Farmer Leaf that he gifted when we were together, and I've not actually even tried it, and that was like 2 or 3 years ago. He gave me a bunch of his cakes and stuff, and I've got them in storage. I don't know. There's a couple things to it. I mean, I usually am really busy with the teas that we have and the teas that we're producing, and I don't have a whole lot of time to do to work on other teas in a given week. And also, there's a part of it. Sometimes, I don't know. Sometimes, like I'm kind of curious about what other people are doing, but at the same time, I don't really want to be influenced by a tea that somebody else has made. I don't want that to have an impact on the teas that we make. I want the teas that we make to be our own inspiration, I guess, if that makes sense. So I really actually don't spend I don't really even take a look at what other people are making, and I see posts and stuff that our customers post, and I can see what other people have done, but I don't really spend time looking at other competitor websites and seeing what teas and designs that they have and what things that they're putting together. We just kind of want to do our own thing. Michelle says the firing temp is very important. Each clay and glaze has to be fired to specific ranges. Kilns need to get extremely hot in excess of 2,000 degrees. If things are under or over fired, they sustain damage. Yeah, Michelle's right. Of course she's right, because she knows what she's doing. It's a little bit tricky. There are some really interesting wood-fired stuff that can get done, but you got even wood firing is just much more tricky to do. The modern gas or electric ones that are computer controlled can actually do a really good job of ramping up the temperature, keeping it at a certain spot, like bringing it down, get more consistent results. And if I'm doing smaller stuff like tea pets or something like that, which is something that we've been thinking of doing in a smaller kiln, I really wouldn't have to worry about it doesn't need to be like wood fired or extra fancy or something like that. Yeah, if you guys have high quality handmade teaware, really you got to give respect to the people that made that stuff, because there's a lot of time and effort and skill that goes into making sure that stuff is made well. Ruben K, kitchen worker in shift. Hours are all over the place. I know how you feel. Yeah. Scottson, would you ever consider making a map of Yunnan with the different areas and villages on it? I would love an English map to hang on the wall or something like that. I've thought about putting some stuff like that together. I just haven't had time. I've got some really cool ideas about some ways to do it. There's a handful of decent resources out there. I think some of the tea chat groups have a link to a really handy Google Maps thing, which is pretty well documented. If somebody has a link to that, they could post it in here. There's some decent resources out there, but it's not easy to get to. But there's a pretty decent Google Doc with links to Google Map stuff that kind of like has everything all kind of super organized. You can actually look up where Qianjiazhai, and I can actually try and that's the tea that we're drinking today. I can actually try and like type it out here, because it's not what you would think it looked like. I think it's like this. Let's see, back. Qianjiazhai. That is where the tea is that we're drinking right now, and that's a tricky spelling. And there may not even actually be many Google hits for that one. It's somewhat obscure. I think there's a couple other tea companies that sell some stuff specifically from there, but like I said, we've not actually used this material. I thought it was always a little bit more expensive than the value that it offered in the cup, so haven't really decided to use it. Jack Doc, Glenn, if you had to recommend 3 cakes you have to get, what would you recommend? That's tough. How can you? It's like picking like your 3 favorite children when you've got like 100. Beneath an Emerald Sea 2016 from our Seattle inventory right now. It's just so good. It's in a really, 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 really great spot. So nice. Altered State, maybe toss in some Altered State, and then maybe a cake of Dark Depths to round things out. I'm jumping over a huge variety of really awesome teas. Maybe we could get some recommendations from the people in here. Yeah, 2016 Beneath an Emerald Sea, Altered State, and Dark Depths, I think would have you super covered for a really, really good collection of teas. Yeah, Michelle, you can definitely build kilns at work. I've downloaded plenty of diagrams and PDFs and read online books about how to build your own kiln at home, and have put some thought into it, but I've not really actually sat down to do the work that needs to be done. It's all about heat retention. Marina despises mornings. Supposed to work mornings for 2 weeks, but went into isolation myself. If I had to, actually, I have worked for a handful of companies that were like, you need to be on site by 7, and that just didn't last very long. I didn't stay working for those companies very long. I just can't do it. Ultramags, you smoke meat, man. We need to talk about smoked meats. Love smoking meats. I really enjoy it. We do it once a year for Christmas. Well, actually, once a year for Thanksgiving. Smoke a big turkey. Been trying to do it a little bit more. The weather here is just not great, and I don't have like a fancy electric smoker. I just do everything myself. I've been doing some stuff with a cherry. Made my own little smoker out of just cinder blocks in the backyard. Kind of have some fun with it. The family gets together. Everybody buys some different cuts of meat, stack it all up in there, throw some things in, and then they come by a couple days later and get what I made. And I'm not super professional at it, but it's something that I really do enjoy doing. Enjoyed it a little bit more pre-COVID. So me and some friends would sit in the backyard all together with drinking some beer, smoking some meat, but it's just not been the same for get-togethers this last year. Yes, Ultramags, Jingmai is good stuff. Michelle Derrickin, you did a side-by-side of 2016, 2027 Emerald Sea. It was so fun, but 2016 has aged so well. The 2016 Beneath an Emerald Sea has aged so good, and I've maybe only got like 10 tones of it left here in the Seattle inventory. So if you want a really nice, very well-aged sheng pu'er tea for a really good deal, Beneath an Emerald Sea 2016, look it up. Michelle loves Jade Rabbit. Jade Rabbit's also a really good one. Well, Slumbering Dragon, yeah, no, Slumbering Dragon is a really good one. It's just it's a little bit pricier, and if you really know what you want and you want to drop, $120 on a cake, Slumbering Dragon can be pretty amazing. But Slumbering Dragon's also kind of what I would call like a hit or miss tea. Either people absolutely love it or they really don't. And some of the other teas I think are a little bit more balanced in experience, and so I think I wouldn't recommend Slumbering Dragon to somebody unless they really knew what they were getting into. If that makes sense. Ultramags, ribs, brisket, all kinds of bird, beef, ribs, everything. Yeah, I love the whole barbecue sphere. But I don't really get too crazy with it. Usually just like some pork shoulder or turkey or some sausages that we've wrapped in bacon or something like that. I'll toss a bunch of those in there. So, but yes, we can chat. We can chat about we can chat. You can hit me up in PM. We can chat about meat smoking. Michelle really likes the Linsong periodic what did I call it? Periodic table of the elements. Yeah, if you guys aren't familiar with what that is, this is my little sample set. Oh my god, I probably got it here. So we started pressing the T-balls and putting some fun like periodic table of the elements. You can't even really see that on there. The light's a little too strong. Yeah, they're very educational. In fact, the Linsong is probably in the other set, so we didn't get Linsong pressed this year. If you guys are looking for educational opportunities for pu'er tea, the pu'erh table of the elements is really great because you get different mountains, and it works out nice. Uhe, have you heard of a tried sticky rice pu'er? Yeah, I have. I don't like it very much. I had a handful of them when we were getting started, and I got it. I understood what it was, but it just seemed that it was. It just seemed that it was something that was done to pu'er that really wasn't that good to drink anyways, and so then they added whatever the herb was or kept it near it. It's the same thing with like jasmine teas. Jasmine teas are really nice, but they're generally really only done to teas that weren't really worth drinking by themselves anyways, and then they kind of make it something different, and the flavors cover up the mistakes in the production of the tea. And yeah, I've not really found a sticky rice pu'er that I thought was worth it. That's totally my opinion. There's some people that absolutely love them. I just haven't really liked it. But yeah, so if you're looking for some recommendations, I don't have any, but perhaps some other people here in the chat do. It's just not my thing. The same thing with the pu'er tea and the oranges. I just haven't really found one that I really enjoyed. Yeah, the way the coronavirus is going, do you have plans to bring back more tea to the Seattle? Yeah, we've been actually bringing in a lot more tea into the Seattle area for aging and storage and more quick shipping. So yeah, our Seattle inventory, especially in the near the about fall, right around Black Friday, we tried to put on as much as stuff as we had from the Seattle inventory, just to give people an opportunity to have more tea available and shipped quickly from here. It sucks though, because we've actually, in all the shipping debacles, we've actually lost a lot of our own boxes of tea, which is particularly frustrating and quite a financial hit when you lose like an entire mega box of tea that you'd been hoping to be able to get onto the site. So yeah, it's still a little tricky, but we still have more tea shipped here. We're trying to get more and more stuff shipped here. Hello, Clement. Hello from Slovenia again. It's 6 p.m. now. Yeah, right. That makes sense. Clement was in our Saturday night midnight tea club, so it's nice to see some people are late night drinkers and morning drinkers, although it's kind of switched if you're in Europe. So Alejandro, hey Alejandro, what's going on? Nice to see you're having a morning tea tasting. Yeah, I wanted to try to offer a morning session, so we can do something for people who are up late at night, some people up early in the morning, depending on what your time zone is. Also kind of give me an inspiration to actually kind of get up early in the morning, get a nice big tea energy into me, and see if I'm more productive on today or not. Scott said it would be like really cheeky if you had 118 different tea balls for your table. Yes, my pu'erh tea table. That was kind of the idea. The hope is that over time I could actually kind of have like a really big collection, something that actually looked like a tea table. And I think we've maybe gotten what have we got? Maybe like 18 different ones so far. Maybe 12 or 18. Can't remember exactly the number that we got, but it's nice, and it gives us a little option to. Just gives us another something to do with extra Maocha and stuff that we have. So, if we've got, like about 10 kilos of Maocha left over, we have it made into 8-gram tea balls. Interesting thing, it actually is much more expensive to make things into tea balls than it is to make things into cakes. So this is how things work at a tea pressing factory. The more human work hours per kilo in some mathematical construction that they do, the more human processes per kilo, the more expensive it's going to be. And so if you think if it takes like 2 people to press a 1 kilo brick of tea, they can do that relatively quickly. It's not going to cost them very much, like 5 minutes of time to press a 1 kilo brick. But if you take that same 1 kilo and you have it made into whatever it is, 128 8-gram tea balls, that is a lot of hand processing in that same kilo. So it's going to cost you much, much, much more to make, to have tea balls made than it would be to just press like 5 200-gram cakes. So if you ever wonder why tea balls are more expensive, it's just a lot more human work per hour. And then you've got to like wrap each one individually. A lot of it just takes a lot of time at a factory to get that done. Scovson says, I guess jasmine tea has their place. It's a decent consumer grade product. Yeah, the jasmine teas actually absolutely have their place, as do the sticky rice tuos and the orange mandarin pu'ers and things. But if we're talking about what I prefer, it's just not those generally. So it's hard for me to sell something that I don't really want to drink myself. That's just I don't know. Maybe that's a personal flaw, but I don't know. I just don't. Everything that we sell on the site is something that I will and do drink. But if it's something else and I don't like drinking it, I just have the hardest time selling it. If there's a tea that I don't like drinking and I'm trying to sell it, then it just feels feels dishonest. I don't mean that in any slight on any other tea company, and please don't take it that way. But that's just me. I want to be able to drink everything, and everything that we sell. Good morning, Gemma. Got some breakfast for you over there. Daddy's doing a tea stream. Gemma is awake this morning, and she's over. She came out looking for her breakfast. She found it. Ultramag's wife's favorite tea is jasmine. It smells great. I really enjoy the smell of jasmine. Will Thurston, what is going on? Hey man, how are you? Happy New Year, and Happy New Year to anybody who I have not said that to yet. We're drinking some tea and we're chatting about New Year's resolutions and drinking some Maocha from it's a 2010 from Qianjiazhai, which is very hard for me to say, but yeah, the point of this stream, if you're just tuning in, wanted to have an option to have tea with people who aren't exactly night owls, not tuning into our midnight tea club on Saturday night. So if you're tuning into this, I do appreciate it. Excited to offer a morning tea drinking option. It was supposed to be yesterday, but I did not wake up in time for it. Big sacrifice for me to get into a morning tea stream. I'm usually up pretty late, and these are not mornings. Mornings are just not my strong suit. So you guys are seeing me in a rare time. Yeah, Sculpton, it's tea balls are really nice for a lazy session. And so we usually try not to press too much material into it, but usually about 10 kilos or something. We've got like 10 kilos of something left over. We'll press it into the tea balls, pay a little extra for it, but then it usually ends up making it cost more. But as far as like convenience goes, yeah, it's great. Just take it off, drop it in, ready to go. Dirk, hello from Belgium. It is too late for me to drink tea. I'm enjoying a Belgian Trappist beer. That sounds awesome. You've got you certainly have the advantage of having access to some pretty amazing Belgian beers being in Belgium. It's your local Gushu. Yeah, no, that's super cool. That's makes me envious just a little bit. So good job for making me envious. Scovson says, I like that you only sell stuff you love. It makes me confident to buy a cake without being too worried about if I'm going to like it or not. Yeah, you'll see this for some different tea companies, that different ones kind of have their own like house flavor. All of our teas are, if you like one of our cakes, you're probably going to like the rest of them, because if our palates align, then probably all of our cakes are going to have a similar experience. It's a good thing, and it's also kind of an awkward thing. It makes it kind of hard it's easy for a company to maybe get kind of stuck in a rut. So sometimes we try and kind of branch out into things that are a little bit different. I think the way we put the way I put together the altered state cake was a little bit of a stretch for me, because I forced myself to not specifically focus on taste and flavor and aroma. I wanted those to be good, but those weren't the experience that I was going for. I was trying to push something that was just straight like a tea energy thing, and it works for me, and it works. If it works for other people, then that's great. But sometimes it doesn't. So that's just kind of how we do things here. Gemma, winking cat. Michelle says hi. Gemma's still completely asleep. John, yeah, we might bring the kids back onto the streams at some point in time. We kind of stopped doing it a little bit. I don't know, Instagram got a little bit weird, but potentially, Gemma has been practicing her gong fu. You've been practicing your tea brewing, right, Gemma? We got her a little tea tasting set up with some of our extra teaware and stuff. And so if you guys follow Lamu on Instagram, she's lost in Yunnan. Lamu will post pictures of Gemma brewing tea sometimes, which is super cute to see that. Drew is about to crack open your sample of Cosima. Thank you so much for the chill company this morning. Absolutely, I'm glad that you got some of that. That's Cosima's good. Cosima's good stuff. Excuse me. Orlando says, Osmanthus oolong is pretty special too. I don't drink much of that either. I've not spent much time at all with oolong. In fact, probably the last time I drank oolong was with having some tea with Shu Wen down at Floating Leaves Tea here in Seattle. She's the resident oolong expert, so it's good stuff. But I don't really know much about it, and it's not something that I really want to choose to drink on my own, especially when I've got like so much pu'er tea that we've got here. But there is some really good oolong stuff out there. Amos Green, New Year's resolution is to drink more tea. I like it. That's a good New Year's resolution. Is that all teas? Or are you thinking of specific types or more tea? Just more tea in general. That's pretty good. It's a good healthy lifestyle choice. There was a post on Instagram, not Instagram, a post on Reddit yesterday about husband and wife had decided, maybe kind of like New Year's resolution is, they were gonna stop drinking alcohol, and they were looking for tea recommendations. I thought that was pretty cool. I do enjoy drinking beer and wine here and there, but now that I have tea in my life, I find myself consuming far less alcohol than I used to do, and that's probably a healthy decision. Has anyone else found something similar? Marina says beer is awesome as well. I do like a good beer here and there. It's tricky when I'm in Yunnan. The Chinese thoughts on beer don't really match up with what I'm expected, but maybe I'm spoiled with all the microbrewery stuff here in Seattle. But I generally find the beer options in China to be, although in the town where Lamu grew up, Shangri-La in northwest Yunnan, edge of Tibet there, they've got a Shangri-La brewing company that does some pretty decent stuff. They make some nice local barley options and some decent dark beers. I like the darker beers. Lao actually has some pretty decent beer. So if we're in Yunnan, Lao's got I usually find some Ailao Shan beers that are some like darker brewing ones that are pretty tasty. But in general, the Chinese offerings don't really do it for me. Orlando doesn't think they have ever had a tea offering from us that dissatisfied or disappointed them. I thank you so much. I'm really glad and appreciate you saying that. So, but I think Orlando and I have pretty much similar tastes on nearly everything. We're pretty close buds. Orlando comes up and has tea with us at the Portland Tea Festival, and we've hung out with him down in the Bay Area a time or two. Do we have any Wuliang material? I don't think we do. Let's see. Chris says, how do you explain house taste? Maybe it's just a common palate preference. Is it a process? A sum greater than the parts? Probably a little bit of everything, I guess. I mean, if you actually have like a retail shop or something that has, like a house pu'er or something, I think it's specifically targeted for more ease of use and kind of introductory cost type stuff, so it may generally be more like of a budget offering. But yeah, I think we definitely, I think it's hard for me to probably describe it. Probably some of our customers could probably describe it more easily. I just, the stuff that we sell is just the stuff that I like and enjoy drinking. There's a lot of other pu'er teas out there that I don't like and don't really enjoy drinking, and those are ones that I don't want to sell, and so that kind of makes what we sell kind of become our house taste, but I wouldn't be able to really describe it. Somebody that actually spent a lot of time with our teas and spent time with teas from other companies might be able to describe more accurately what like the Crimson Lotus Tea house taste was. But it's kind of hard for me to describe. But I think that's probably what it is. It's probably just more of like a gestalt of preferences, if that makes sense. Makes sense to me. Marina's New Year's resolution is to write tea tasting notes. That's a good idea. I have a handful of, actually don't have any right here. I have a handful of notebooks that I travel around with when I am in China, and I usually get a different one each year, and then that's where I put all my tea tasting notes for that. I've got my own little method about how to like write out the notes. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to be able to go back and see what you were drinking or what you were thinking at that point in time. I usually make a note about the location I was drinking the tea, the details of the tea, how many grams of the tea, how many ml was the volume. I'll note the location. I'll note the time. I'll note the date, and then I'll start writing down like how many seconds each steep was. I'll make a note on the leaf appearance before you steep it. I'll make a note on the warm aroma, the dry aroma, the wet aroma, and then the different taste in the different steeps. And I'll mention if this was steeped for like 10 seconds or something like that. If I did one wash, if I did two wash. So yeah, you can have a lot of fun. You can get as nerdy about it as you want to do, but it's nice. Yeah, get a little notebook and just start making some notes in it. Scovson, how do you like Highline House teas? The one I've tried in his shop seemed to be great, burly and smoky. Yeah, I think those are his preference style. I really enjoy having tea. I really enjoy having tea with him. So probably the only teas that I've had were actually ones that we had when we were actually with him. And so it's hard to know if I'm enjoying those because the teas or if I'm enjoying it because of the company. Because he's a very nice and gracious and generous tea hosting person. So it might skew my tastes a little bit. But I think he has a pretty good. I think he has a really good palate. I can't remember a session that I've had there that had a tea that I didn't like. We had some that were just okay, but it's just that could be anything. I think he's got some pretty good stuff.
Very strong brew.
Yeah, he likes to brew. He likes to brew really strong. Yeah, Scopes, and I've mentioned that I'm friends with him. Yeah, like I said, he's a really generous guy. He's a gracious host, and we've traveled. I didn't travel with him specifically, but he was in a group of people that were traveling with us when we were in the Munghai area. So we're traveling with a group, and he had a bunch of his friends there, and a bunch of people that we knew and stuff there. And so he was in one of the vehicles, and we kind of traveled around, drove to a bunch of different mountains and stuff, and then had some tea in the evenings and things. And so we usually try and stop into his shop like once a year when we're down there, just to kind of say hi and maintain the friendship. We've given him a handful of different teas that we've made and processed, and just kind of keep the friendship going. Orlando says our house taste is delicious sheng. That's it. We also I do like my show pour as well, but I'm a little bit more probably a little bit more particular about show than I am for sheng. Show has to really hit a specific profile before I really want to sell it. And there's just so much crappy show pour in Yunnan. It's just not even worth our time. But yeah. Michelle says our teas have a refreshing sweetness to them, even if it's not a primary flavor. That's nice. I appreciate that note. I do like I like the teas that have a good amount of sweetness to them. A little bit of a balance. It works out. Michelle, have you had a chance to try Baby Dragon yet? I'm kind of curious what your thoughts are on that, because that one's a little bit more punchy. Ooh, hey, the Dark Depths artwork reminds you of H.P. Lovecraft, Magic the Gathering stuff. Yeah, I wasn't specifically thinking of Lovecraftian lore or the Dark Depths card, although I've been made aware of the Dark Depths card after the fact. I specifically designed it more from like a Kraken Norse mythology perspective. That was kind of my idea behind it. But there's so many parallels between Kraken and Norse lore and the Lovecraftian stuff, and that Dark Depths card certainly has a visual connection now that I have been made aware of. But yeah, it was more from a Kraken perspective when I was coming up with the design. John says, found our tastes to me blended more savory and well-rounded, whereas other vendors I found them more singular focused taste in their tea. That's just me. Yeah, I actually appreciate that note, because I really do try to find teas that hit all of the things that I'm looking for. Body, mouth flavor, aftertaste, throat feeling and emotion, energy, taste and aroma. I think a good tea is one that kind of has a really good collection of all of those. The exception being Altered State, which is like where I focus specifically on tea chi. And you'll notice that Altered State's a little weak in the cup body wise. You'll notice it's a little bit thinner and smoother when you drink it. It doesn't really have as much mouthfeel, because that wasn't the focus. So if you ever spend time with that, you could make a note of that. What's the most expensive tea that we've bought, Amos? Probably the Kunlu Gushu from last year. We're selling that for almost $4 a gram, and that's a very, very, very expensive tea for us to purchase. Very expensive tea for us to sell. It's kind of hard to, even though like the farmer only made like 2 kilos of that tea, final product. You can start doing the math. That stuff adds up really quickly. It's kind of hard for a business to sit on that much inventory if it's not moving quickly. So we actually purchased it in smaller portions. Purchased just a few hundred grams of it at first to see if people were interested in it, and then when they were, then we used kind of some of the profits from that to purchase the rest of it. Yeah, Kunlu Gushu, crazy expensive tea. $4 a gram is pushing the bounds of what tea should be sold at, but that experience is absolutely rewarding for what it is. Crazy good tea. I have had some more expensive teas in single sessions with other tea shops. Some really old, like super vintage stuff. Some fancy, like Zhongcha Productions, or not fancy Zhongcha Productions, but like some rarer teas from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and stuff like that, which is really more expensive than it should be. I mean, it's so expensive that nobody's really actually going to be spending that much money on it. So a lot of times those teas, it gets to a point where somebody may have a tea that the market has decided costs this much money, and they'll never ever be able to sell it. So for them, they use it as a kind of a reward for friends and family who come over for special sessions and stuff like that. It's easy. It's more rewarding for a tea shop to share a session like that than to actually try and profit off of it, because it gets more expensive than they could realistically do, and nobody's going to be really buying it that way anyways once the market has pushed it to that point. So we've tasted some teas that are far more expensive than I could ever purchase, but quite nice tasting. Michelle likes our lean song Maocha. Yeah, you're liking the lean song. There's some good stuff. Good stuff from lean song. Yeah, Scopes and Highline House, pretty cool dude. So if you get a chance to hang out with him at his tea shop in Kunming, it's absolutely worth it. He's got a crazy collection of teas, and he's very generous. But yeah, if you go there, you should at least buy a little bit from him. What did his wife, Scuffs and his wife mentioned that too. Asked her to brew a little stronger for me because I wanted to access his tea in a way that was closer to my brewing style. Yeah, he does. Oh, Michelle, you didn't get any baby dragon. It's kind of hard. We had some a handful of tasty offerings this year, but if you get a chance, give baby dragon a try. That's it's a excuse me, potent little tea. Let's see, Lama, you're looking for the link.
Yeah.
It should be on it's on the front page there. Getting yes, Gemma is getting her her first Zoom preschool class of the year set up. Gonna get that stream started soon. So, and I'm probably going to be bringing this morning Maocha tea tasting to a close. So, which has been awesome. It's been about an hour and a half, 90 minutes having tea with you guys, which is really great. I will probably try and do one next week, maybe Monday, maybe Tuesday. Monday would be nice. Monday's the kind of a good way to get the week started with with some tea, get things set up. Yeah. So this has been a lot of fun, guys. Really appreciate it. Everybody who tuned in. What Escobson says. The non-Laomana teas have a degree of sweetness, which is nice. Yeah, there's some interesting stuff in Laomana as well that can be sweet, but it's certainly a little bit different. I can help you out with that in a second, Lamu. I gotta help get some stuff set up for the tea stream here, guys. So I'm gonna be probably shutting this down in just a second, but definitely. Whoa, caught that laptop just in time. This was a lot of fun. Really appreciate everyone who tuned in. Absolutely wish you all a happy new year and good luck with your resolutions. And we'll be doing more morning sessions. So this was a lot of fun, and I appreciate it. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, a good rest of your week. We do have our next live tea tasting, tea stream interview session is going to be between two teapots. Friday afternoon. It's on the 8th, Friday afternoon, the 8th, with Sarah Twig and Snip, the artist for our new Beneath an Emerald Sea, and it's gonna be a fun session. So she's gonna zoom in. We're gonna drink tea together. You guys can hop in, ask her any questions. It'll be 2:30 in the afternoon this Friday. I'll be probably making a post about that tomorrow. But appreciate everybody who had the chance to tune in. Happy New Year to everybody. Good luck with your resolutions, and I will see you guys in the next stream. Thank you so much.